just jump straight into this.
What'll it be today, Oni-chan?
I'll have one isekai, please.
Our original.
With a harem.
Daring today, aren't we? One slop isekai.
You know, I love isekai. No, really. The idea of being transported somewhere that isn't Cleveland, Ohio, to live out an ideal action-adventure fantasy is something one can only dream of in this 50-50 hellhole we call life. And when I've come back home after a long day at the evil-ass Bad Touch factory, I want to be able to unwind with a bapple and some anime, datebayo and such.
Can we just appreciate that this is a video about Isekai Slop, and I've seen 2 anime flash by on the screen that are not an isekai.
I will admit though, there has been a steady uptick in slop media.
Powerpuff Girls is not slop. You're slop. I do not know what these 2 are, so I can't say anything about them, but looking at them, they're probably maybe late 2019 era cartoons, but this is early 2000s cartoon, and it's peak as fuck. I don't recognize this person though. We got Bubbles, we got Buttercup, and we have, I don't remember her name because I don't.
Yeah, in the West, which drove me and others to anime. But it seems now the East.
So I think this is, I can't remember. This one's okay. I like the art style. This one is, it's halves and halves. I mean, you can't really shit on a show that is barely even 14 plus age rated, and then this one, I like this one. I like this one. It's okay. They kind of fucked it a little bit here and there, but other than them fucking it like a little now and then, it's okay. I give it about a 7 out of 10. It'd probably take another year for me to rewatch it, and I watched this first season as it was coming out, and I watched the second season as it was coming out.
Isn't doing any better. Looks like garbage media is.
This one is a really nice, feel-good Rising the Shield Hero. This, you can't even classify this one as garbage, considering when I was in high school, this was special to me. The day I finished, I binged it, obviously, but the day I finished the first season, the second season was already coming out. And then that was a few years after the first season came out. And then, well, dude, it's so good. It's so good. It's a really good storytelling, and the character arcs are really well done, and all that stuff. And then we have this. This is not even an isekai. This is not an isekai. I finished this like last month. I finished it 2 weeks ago. I watched it in 2 days. This is Unlimited God, level 9,999 Unlimited Gacha. This is a revenge story of this kid who gets discriminated by all these other races because he's a human, and then he's drugged down to the abyss, and then they try and kill him, and then he hits a magic circle, and then when he's struggling for his life, and then there's a hellhound, and he doesn't want to give up, so he uses his gacha, and he doesn't get a bent fork. What does he get? He gets a character card that is level 9,999. That saves him, and he's crying. It's really good. It's a really good revenge story. Season 2 should be coming blame on us. Season 2 should be airing in like maybe 2 or 3 years.
Is a universal concept. Because what if I told you the battle anime and high school dramas have a contender for generating the lowest effort garbage you've ever seen? Allow me to introduce you to a very special genre. Isekai, meaning another world or other world, is a type of anime that usually revolves around the main character being sent through means outside of their control to live in, you guessed it, another world. And even if you've never watched it in anime, there are plenty of examples throughout all of media and literature of this extremely common trope. In anime, there are plenty of examples throughout all of media and literature of this extremely common trope. Popular ones.
Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is the he gets put into a game, and then he kills the brother, and has to do the stuff, and has to beat the game to get out and stuff. It's kind of like SAO, but not at all like SAO. The only thing that he has in common with Sword Art Online is that he's trapped in a game. It's
being the Divine Comedy or Alice in Wonderland, and less popular but close to my heart, or Martin Lawrence's Black Knight or Nickelodeon's Chalk Zone. And the Japanese, oh those silly goobers, they've been pumping out isekai as early as the 8th century, and now it's a global phenomenon. Really impressive. But I'm not here to give you a crash course on its history. I'm here to help you, viewer, avoid a fate I could not save myself from. Wasting your time on shit television. In 2025 through 2026, there have been wasting your time on shit television. In 2020.
Are you telling me this is shit? The Water Magician is shit? Get the fuck out of here. You're telling me this is the villainous one. Which villainous one? So this is a dad who's an hang on, let me just no, it's actually good. I don't know how to spell. Okay, fuck you. How do you spell? Okay. No, this is okay. So, observation log is good. There it is. The bureaucrat, from bureaucrat to villainous, dad between been reincarnated. This show is really good. It's super good. You can't shit on it. You're shitting on it because you're just mad that you didn't have the idea. No, I highly recommend this show. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
2025 through 2026, there have been over 50 new isekais and time on shit television. In 2025 through 2026, there have been over 50 new isekais, and I can't imagine being bothered to watch even a third.
This is the magic. I can't remember the magic one. It's good. Ugly Bastard. Ugly Bastard, Epic Fighter, Ugly Bastard, one of those two. It's honestly, I like it. Reborn as a vending machine, it's pretty good. And like, I don't know why this person's deciding to shit on anime. Does he? It's like he does know that 99.9% of every anime ever is the animated and voice acted format of a manga, right? I like anime because I don't want to read manga. And two, I want to enjoy and get immersed. That's why I watch anime. This one's also pretty good. I put it at about a 6 out of 10. But okay, so this one's 10 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Season 3 is almost done airing. This is honestly, Ugly Bastard Epic Fighter. I put it at about 8 out of 10. It's really well
of them.
done.
At this point, the genre is like bread, filling and bad for your macros, and bad bread is for the birds.
Whoa. You cannot say that. You cannot say that when No Game,
It's
No
like
Life.
bread, filling and
No Game, No Life. You can't say that while you have No Game, No Life in the background. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me, dude? I mean, okay, you can say it because you just said it, but you can't say that and not expect to get backlash. Like, No Game, No Life was so fucking good that they can't even make a second season. I mean, that's what we like to believe. Technically, they can't get a second season because the creator of the manga did some stuff, and that apparently humans are like, oh no, this person did this, now everything he's ever done is now shit. Like, fucking the song 2016 by David. Everyone's hating on me because I listened to that song. Dude, that song's nostalgic. It's good. I don't give a fuck what David did after or before that song. The song is a song. Who gives a fuck?
bad for your macros, and bad bread is for the birds. It gets to a point where it feels like these things are only being pumped out to see who can make.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Nova on the Brink of Broom and Mastering Magic. Yeah. And now he has this. Dude, this is not a. These are not isekais at all. This is a revenge story. Revenge story. And then this is a kid who just has a knack for magic and does some stuff.
The longest title for the worst show you've ever seen, in an effort to reduce the amount of time wasted.
Are you saying Konosuba is terrible? I mean, I like the first few seasons of Konosuba, but the most recent season, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. And I kind of liked the Megami movie that we got.
Watching paint by numbers anime slop, I have compiled a list, in no particular order of importance, of the kind of tropes you would see in the isekai
Sword Art Online is a certified hood classic.
genre that screams your time is about to be wasted. Let it also be known that there are instances when isekai has these tropes and are still good, but these days it's far and few between. Trust me, I've
looked. Why
looked.
you putting up shows that are fucking 10 years old?
There's nothing.
What I'm trying to say is the list isn't bulletproof, but it should also at least give you the
Hero.
tools necessary to save yourselves, something I couldn't do, and now I guide others to a treasure I can't possess. This list also hinges on the idea of giving a new anime the 3-episode
Hero.
treatment, which, if I have to watch more than
No,
that
this
before
is
the
not
story
Shield
can
Hero. I think this is I don't even think this is an isekai.
suck
I
me
think
in,
this is,
I'm not freaking doing it. Let us begin.
Yeah, no, that's not an
Sign-
isekai. This is
One.
not an isekai. This is the fucking. Yeah, no, this is just a video game. Like, they're just in a video game. I think it's Dandro. Infinite. How do you spell infinite? Den. Dro. I'm 95% sure it's infinite dendrogram. Infinite dendrogram. Yeah, it's infinite dendrogram. It's not an isekai. Infinite dendrogram is non-isekai. I don't even think I think this came out in like 2019. It's really good. You can't even... I don't know why it's in the isekai category when it's technically not an isekai. They're not trapped anywhere. They go back. They're in the real world, and then they just... Like, there's like 4 episodes where they're in the real world. It's like episode 1 where in the real world, and then they get in the game. And then the next episode, they log back in. It's technically not... genre should not be classified as a fucking isekai, because it's not. They do not get reincarnated. They don't get trapped anywhere in another world. They move freely between world and not world. Now, if we're fucking talking about the self-proclaimed pupil of the whatever the fuck, that is
Chosen hero
isekai.
or demon king.
But
Probably the
Into
most
Them is
played out
not.
trope in the isekai genre.
This, yes, I was just talking about this. Self-proclaimed pupil of the wise man. This is an isekai. Other ones
Is when the
is
MC just so happened to make their way to the other world around the time of great political unrest,
life.
or when the uncertainty of the nation is at risk for one reason or another, and has been selected as the top guy capable of defeating the looming threat over the kingdom or nation, whatever. With the big bad being the Demon King, a nameless, faceless prop
That's not a
used to
thing
propel the
in
story forward,
most of
and
these
while
things.
Chosen One stories
was,
aren't inherently a bad...
Ooh, this is the fucking how the realist hero rebuilt the
thing. I mean, there's an entire religion centered around a chosen one isekai. This trope, when done poorly, has the story meander on because there will be nothing
I'm
to
with
do
them on
once
the
the big bad is under
Christianity.
heel. Usually because there isn't enough story for the set episode count of the series, with the padding being a vehicle for the addition of other genres like harem, slice of life, romance, besides the usual action adventure that comes baked into isekai. Now, once again, that doesn't always mean it's
Life
bad.
in Another World is a isekai slice of life, but like it's a chosen isekai. Like he chose to do it. Well, actually, no, he didn't. He just died in the real world and was given a second chance.
Sometimes the show may surprise you and the villain
it's
is actually the
technically an
royalty,
isekai.
which could set up a juicy revenge
Isn't it
plot,
Dungeon
or when the
Glamour's not an
Demon King
isekai?
is
I don't get
defeated,
that the
revealing
genre's
the
classified
actual
as-
villain.
classified
And
as
other
isekais
popular
are fucking
isekais like
isekais.
Overlord or Eminence in Shadow, they reincarnate
This is, yeah, Overlord is a really good one. Eminence and Shadow. Eminence and Shadow is half an isekai because he moves freely. As we discover in the latest season.
and become the bad guy, creating the actual threat of the anime. But if you're watching Slop, the nuance isn't there, and you can usually tell, especially if they introduce said threats and the show treats the main quest like an afterthought. Sign 2, the insanely OP MC. Oh, this is one of my favorite
But Skeleton Knight in Another World is a good one.
tropes to raise hell about, because it's always a distinct aroma in bad anime when the MC is the pinnacle of strength in whatever power system the show has, on top of being beyond all reproach when it comes to their actions and moral alignment. Having
I kind of liked the anime adaptation for this anime. The Aristocrat in Another World, or whatever the fuck it was named. It's okay. I don't like how they made Kine a fucking bitch half the time. Like, they could have done so much better by having Kine be fucking cocky and stuff. It would have been so much better. And I feel like it would have been more true to the manga, to a degree, even though Kine was a bitch in the manga too. But like, dude, we need more anime where the MC is not a literal bitch and is being a fucking bitch, being a cunt to people.
your MC plop in and be insanely powerful, or he's able to wield the kind of power that makes people shit their pants whenever he demonstrates his skill, is bad for the same reasons why the power that makes people shit their pants whenever he demonstrates his skill.
That time I was reincarnated as a slime. They show us him earning that power, though. They show us. Like the fuck?
is bad for the same reasons why we can't get any good Superman games. When the character you're writing is beyond all
We can't get good Superman games because DC Comics is falling the fuck off. Marvel Studios is barely falling off. They're like right here on falling off because Disney is destroying everything.
danger, there are no stakes. And no stakes mean no story.
What?
Basically
Dude,
a show about
yo,
nothing.
I'm gonna rant a little bit. I'm gonna rant a little bit real quick, okay? You know what fucking grinds my gears about the old animated Disney films? They're rip-offs. They are not even true to what they're supposed to be. They take German fairy tales, base some, then they take a German fairy tale and remove 95% of the fucking fairy tale that makes the fairy tale a fairy tale. Get rid of the gore and all this other stuff, and then they slap some different shit in there. It's stupid. Sleeping Beauty? I'm 95% sure that was a German fairy tale that ended horribly. There's a fucking... So, all the early shit that they did is dumb, bro. It's so terrible. It's garbage, and it was the first ever era of... They invented slop and ripping off things. Because they took... I see why Germany hates fucking Disney, bro. Disney shit on their entire fucking culture and the surrounding country's culture and just took a big shit on it. I want them to go back to all of those original cartoons they did and remake them properly, the way the fairy tale tells.
Writing is beyond all danger. There are no stakes. And no stakes mean no story. And no story means you're
There
wasting
were
your flipping
stakes in most of these stories and stuff. And actually, the reason why there's hardly any stakes these days is because people don't want best girl her or all other stuff. Dude, the author for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime had to fucking retcon Shion back to life because everyone hated it.
time. So it becomes a show about hype moments and look, he was just pretending to be weak and you don't stand a chance, blah blah blah. And if you're above the age of 12, it's basically a show about nothing. Now, this can be turned around and made so that even though the MC is insanely powerful, his friends aren't, and the story can shift to how even though with all his power, he can't be there to help his loved ones. But in the bad anime, you'd be hard pressed to find a non-mainstream isekai with an overpowered MC to that level of nuance. More Kirito clones,
This is a good
please.
one.
This is the part of the power fantasy I don't like because most of the times the MC
But he has
didn't earn
instant
these
death
insane
powers.
skills
He
or
just
power. They were
needs
just
someone to
naturally
die, they
awesome and
die.
better or
It's
got a
pretty
blessing
good.
from a goddess because the plot said so. And to witness the indomitable human spirit play out is a must. Lazy storytellers just want to have all this power so they can get all the anime huzz. Once the stakes are removed, there doesn't really leave much room for growth, besides how much bigger his flashiest attacks are going to be. A classic Gary Stu situation. And I want to add a little addendum. I've watched a decent chunk of isekai and I realized that when the main character specifically decides to become a magic user or share some resemblance to Kirito from
So I need to. I don't think this is supposed to be said. I didn't realize this had to be said, but did you know that 95% of every Japanese person has black hair and black eyes? It's almost like they're modeling the characters after themselves. Oh my fucking god, humans modeling other humans after themselves? Oh my god, that's crazy. Like, okay, here we go. We got Kirito, we got the guy from Smartphone, we have, he's right there on the top of my fucking tongue. I've seen all these fucking anime, dude. I can't remember the names of these three. Then we have, Fruit Master, he's right there. We have Fruit of Evolution. I fucking know him. We got the guy from... That's the Exorcist. World's Greatest Exorcist. I can't remember the name. This is the guy from... that he brought into the world a second time to kill the Demon King or whatever, or not to kill the Demon King. He brought peace to a world and then went back home, and then he came back to help with the stuff. Can't remember this guy's name. This is the guy from his grandpa died. He was fat. He went through a door, and he got super strong. I can't remember his name. I can't remember his. It's been forever since this. This is the guy from Black Summoner. This is the guy from the eighth. I'm the eighth son. Are you kidding me? And then we have that one magic show or whatever. But like this guy is saying he's saying they're gonna be switching to magic users and shit, and they're not switching to magic users half the time. Because of the reason he's saying they're doing it because they want to try stuff.
SAO, it almost guarantees that your viewing experience will be lessened because the creator.
Also, I don't even see how. Wait, you're not from Fruit Master. I'm so sorry. You're from. This is the guy that was an item drop from a slime. That's how he got isekai'd. Someone killed a slime and he was an item drop from the slime. I can't remember. I just saw this and thought that. But like, they're not copying SAO. You wanna know what a copy of SAO would be? Trapped in a game, and they get the same fucking skills, and it's swords, and then they beat the game somehow, and then they play it. They're free now, but their love interest isn't free, and then they have another season of them trying to get that. And then he gets stabbed IRL, and then they have a spin-off series of another game, and this person from there gets threatened with their life and helps them, and then all this other shit that's stretched out into 7 different fucking seasons.
Of the show wanted to cash in on the synonymous nature of having a black-haired, zero personality, morally stagnant.
They're not morally stagnant. What the fuck? Guy from Smartphone in Another World is not morally stagnant. He's a pussy. To a degree. This guy is definitely not morally stagnant. He might have a screw loose, but hell no. This guy's him no. Yeah, he might be morally stagnant. I can't remember. I need to rewatch it.
OPMC without developing anything outside of how powerful he is, or creating the kind of content that would go in a top 10 anime crash outs compilation. Sign number 3, harems. Whoa, I can see you smashing that dislike button. Hear me out, playa. Probably the most controversial reasoning for whether or not an isekai is worth your time is if for whatever reason, whenever the protagonist, usually male, comes across a person of the opposite gender, usually female.
I have a I agree with him to a standpoint. 90% of all harem anime that are fucking age rated 14 plus or lower are fucking dog shit. Because they can't do cursing, they can't do more say-so shit, they can't have fucking uncensored gore and all this other shit. If you can have a lot of cursing and uncensored gore and say-so shit in an anime that's a harem, it'd be better. Automatically. I'm not even doing that shit because, ooh, titties, yeah, no. It's because it just feels fake to me.
She immediately wants to jump his bones, and from that point forward is no longer a character and relegated to being his cheerleader, only ever really having dialogue to tell the MC to try his best, get kidnapped, or be the focus for awkward perversion. Now, I don't want to dog on the concept of having a harem in an isekai. I want to more so highlight that you know it's going to be a steaming pile of poo-poo when the women are only there to be eye candy or damsels in distress as a part of a power fantasy for the MC, who is also so morally pure and clueless as to why these women want to.
I'm kind of with him. It only works if you have like if you have the character be like an entitled female. They need to be a weak, pathetic, entitled female for it to really work for that scenario.
Bed him. I'm sorry, the idea of a woman throwing themselves at me is immersion breaking. But then again, who wouldn't want to have a gaggle of smoking hot women at your beck and call, ready to face the worst evils in order to get a sliver of affection from their hunky beau? Hey man, I want to go crazy. But another thing with this trope is that in the generic slop, the MC usually has no actual personality and is completely sexless, almost asexual, and you're only ever reminded that he knows how to get a boner when the show decides to have a random shared bath scene, and its inclusion in the form of secondhand embarrassment or edging the viewers to the possibility of giant 2D gazangas. It's annoying, and it makes for some of the most paint-by-numbers anime of giant 2D gazangas. It's annoying.
Okay, so with Imminence and Shadow, they fall for him because of who he is and how he carries himself and shit. The only reason why he's not attracted to them is because he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, his whole fucking character is perfect, in my opinion, because his drive is improv and be a cool superhero that does ominous shit. And he fucking was making random shit up to sound cool, and it just so happened that it was true. His shit is, like, there's so many coincidences around what he has done. It's perfect. And he's driven on greed half the time as well. He's perfectly built and engineered. And he then proceeds to uncover plots by happenstance because of his greed and other shit, and wants to do other stuff that then it's so perfect. It's beautiful. They don't make it so that everything is ever a coincidence. They have his shadows set the stage for him sometimes as well, and then there was a few times when he was wrong on certain things, like when he's in that I think it might be a high school or whatever. When he's in that high school, he's doing certain things and he's wrong. It's perfect. I loved Imminence and Shadow. I want the next season now, please.
And it makes for some of the most paint-by-numbers anime you ever watched. That being said, I'm not advocating from a Puritan standpoint. I love 2D gazangas, and I know a lot of animes for teenage boys, which I am not. But if all the show has to offer is the gazangas without developing the best girls attached to them, I don't want it. The plot has to be good before the payoff, if you're sniffing what I'm shitting. Sign number 4, the community builder sim. This kind of builds on top of the overpowered MC trope, because when it gets to a point where the main guy no longer faces any real danger, for whatever reason the show becomes a civ campaign, with the plot now revolving around making a city and forging relations with other nations and the adjacent. A kind of pseudo-political melodrama, with anime antics sprinkled in. And when the bad anime reaches this point, then the entire thing becomes about the intricacies of the world and the complex relations between factions or nations, what have you.
Well, that's just in the case of That Time I Was Reincarnated as Slime, that was always his goal. From the start, that village, that goblin village, from the start, that was his goal, was to build a utopia.
view, which bogs down the story, especially when the show uses that time for unnecessary expo dumps for however many episodes. The reason why this in of itself is an issue is because when you start to quantify things like prices or laws, or take entire episodes explaining the world lore with no actual payoff to what we learned, when the show wants to do something that doesn't fit within those pre-established rules, it comes off as lazy. And also, it's boring as fuck. No, I don't want to sit for a 23-minute episode of just them talking and negotiating with neighboring countries. Fuck no, I can't be bothered with the MC sitting down with his council and deciding how many new laws or construction projects will be underway for the.
I kind of like them when they do that, because if it's at least that filler episode makes sense, unlike 90% of all of One Piece. And I was reincarnated as a dragon egg hatchling. Like, dude, there's an episode where half of it is just them running back to the village. And then the next episode after that is just them running back to the village. And then after that, a third of the next episode is still them running back to the village. That shit kind of pissed me off. Like, basically nothing happened.
The new society. I want to escape the shackles of the real world, not find a way to bring it into fantasy, which is what happens a lot in these lackluster shows when there isn't an actual plot to be had. And my cortisol is raised when this kind of stuff happens in a 12 to 13 episode show. Like, we don't have time for this, man. I need to see if Buddy confesses his feelings before defeating the Demon King. No, but really, I don't mind world building or fleshing out societies, but if it's being used to waste the viewer's time, it's extremely grating and noticeable once pointed out. Sign number 5, video game rules. This is one of the most important tropes for me that immediately inform what I'm watching is unfettered visual
Monster is pretty good.
Diarrhea. Now, this is different from if the isekai is established as a video game world, but some of the reasons I'll say still apply sometimes. What you should watch out for more so is when the anime bends over backwards to give the MC every advantage known to man through the use of a system or unique mechanic that is only known to the MC themselves, which screams SAO clone, certified garbage. And look, I liked SAO, but not everything needs to be sword art. I don't like this concept because in some animes that make use of the system trope, it feeds the MC information that he would otherwise have no reason knowing, or once again, it gives them an edge that feels unearned, killing an important part of the power fantasy. In the way how if Naruto was able to immediately at series beginning tap into the chakra of the Nine Tails because he politely asked and the fox agreed, then the show and his internal struggle would be moot and utterly unwatchable. It's better storytelling when the MC works for it. Another reason why I don't like the system trope in these new gen isekais is because I think some of them misunderstand what made it so intriguing in shows like SAO, and even I don't really know myself. The best I can get at is due to the novelty at the time, and also how it made sense in the setting of being trapped in a video game. Kirito being OP because he had been playing the game well before anyone else. But when you have shows like...
Well, no, he's not OP because he was playing the game before anyone else. He was a beta tester, so he knew a tiny bit more than most of the other people, because there were about 1,000 people that were beta testers. The reason why he was more powerful was because he put his nose to the grindstone instantly. He locked the fuck in like that.
Solo leveling, or the time I got reincarnated as a slime, it seems like the system does all the heavy lifting for the MC and you're just supposed to sit back and clap at the pretty colors. Which, if that's what you want, then be my guest, but at least be self-aware that it's lacking in some aspects. And just like slime and solo leveling, when it's a non-game world and the MC...
Man, I don't like solo leveling because... I can understand where he's coming from. Solo leveling, in my opinion, overdoes all the shit in the wrong ways. If you know what I mean. And they also can't keep a fucking art style the same. Like, fucking every 3 episodes, bro's jawline is different. By now, his jaw should be fucking... fucking his shit should be sharper than Phidias's nose. Like, damn, bro.
He has exclusive use of game mechanics, it's bleak. Sign number 6, the slice of life creep. This is when the series either halts or slows the show's plot to have an extended and or unnecessary period of downtime for the MC, having them do mundane things that doesn't really add to the story in a significant way. Now, if the show is a slice of life with action sprinkled in, then that's a separate story. But if we're in an instance like the MC has finally gotten the location of the big bad and it's time to go face him, to then the next episode being the obligatory beach episode, I'm gonna be a bit hot, especially if it's a 2-part stoppage. This one is incredibly annoying because it ties in perfectly with the OPMC and community builder sim issue.
Like, you gotta build up to it or something and have it make sense and shit. Like, I hope in the next season of Tanakawa Over the Moon for You that they will get a beach episode because they have laid out the groundwork for it ahead of time already, if you think about it. So, like, they should go and have a set of 3 episodes working up to them doing like they're doing the main plot shit or whatever, with a subplot of them working up to the beach episode.
I personally don't have a problem with the slice of life anime. One of my favorite animes is a slice of life romance. But if the show is advertised as an action adventure, I don't really want the cozy stuff to have an extended amount of time in a show that doesn't really need it. Now, since I did say...
And the fact that, like, in lore, Tsukasa is Princess Kaguya is so fucking good. Because the underlying... everything there, her being resilient, it's right there. Her knowing certain things, right there. The way she act in Kyoto. Was it Kyoto? I can't remember. It's chef's kiss.
Say that this list is based on giving the show the 3-episode treatment. The slice of life creep is usually near the end of the series, but if you're seeing it within 3 episodes, it's an immediate DEFCON 1. Sign number 7, the evil church. It's almost standard for most anime.
Well, the reason why it's standard is because Christianity is one of the most popular religions in the world, and it has around 80,000 fucking different denominations, and people construed everything from that's ever happened. And when 40% of everyone that ever discusses Christianity, they're talking about original OG type shit, and then there's all this other stuff, and people forgot that they oppressed non-believers and other stuffs and incited holy wars and all this other shit. And yes, they hoarded they hoarded knowledge, but and yes, they did only elevate the chosen few, and yes, they kind of did save written language to a degree during the Dark Ages, but still all that stuff would have came back anyways through time. But then it's just whatever, dude. I'm a fan of the evil church shit because most churches and shit are evil, and they're underlying egotistical narcissists in the real world, and it's nice to see all this shit go down
These days, for the church to be corrupt and or actually worshiping a demon or being a fake religion, its believers are zealots and foolish and they get what's coming to them and the like. Look, I'm a believing man, and while I am able to not be offended by portrayals like this, the reason why I chalk the evil church trope up to slop is because of how obvious it is that the organized religion of the world is super evil, which in my eyes is a failing on the show's creator in making an institution that should be a source of good in the world another enemy to combat and dismantle. And it's even more annoying when the MC starts to morally grandstand as a beacon of what's truly fair and just, and it seems like the writers just had a stick to wave at God and decided to do it via 2014 edgelord Reddit arguments. And I bring this up because during my watch of The Rising of Shield Hero is when I realized this. The church's evil as a trope happens a lot in isekai and anime in general, and I can admit was subversive at the time. Then it became the standard, which I suppose is whatever, free will. But
Well, I'm with him at the same time. I'm sorry I shat on you so hard earlier, but I think it's another thing is because in the modern society we have people pushing their religion and beliefs on other people and shitting on everyone so damn hard that it's a way that we vent and stuff now. Like, I'm all for freedom of religion, but when you fucking stop pushing your shit on me, dude, I'm gonna fucking want to hurt you. And yeah,
I think what is the most annoying about it is when the show tries to play it off as a shocking revelation. Look, the guys who are supposed to be good are just as heartless and evil as his fellow man. Yeah, when in reality, anyone over the age of 14 could see the twist coming, sir. Let's just move on. And I can see this reason being polarizing for people, but it's unoriginal at this point. It would honestly be more subversive if the church was good, and not a straw man for why people with any form of faith are foolish, especially if in that isekai world, gods and goddesses exist. And sign number 8, lollies. Now, this isn't isekai specific. I decided to sneak this one in because it bothers my sensibilities specifically. And I know defenders will say, well, it's not a person, it's a drawing and it isn't hurting anyone. So you can't call me a Diddy supporter for getting off to the stuff. Okay, fine. Let's just place this logic in a different circumstance.
Yeah, here's my 2 cents about this. For the longest time, when I hear lolly, the first thing that came to my mind when I heard lolly was short woman. I think like 90% of all weebs, when they hear the term lolly, don't think child. We think short woman.
Let's say that there were drawings of animals. No. Let me finish. There are drawings of animals, no specific named animal, just like a drawing of a dog, but not anthropomorphic either. And I told you I get aroused by these drawings, and said, but I'm not a zoophile because they aren't actual pictures of dogs. They're just drawings that accurately depict the shape, features, and build of a dog, sometimes having lewd or sexual acts performed on them. I swear.
That's not bestiality. That would be, there's people that get off to art, like just art in general. You appreciate the art so fucking much and shit. I can't remember what the fuck it was. I remember hearing about an art class. It's like you're such a hardcore art connoisseur that anything that's really well done, just fucking orgasm. Just how people with a foot fetish fucking go when someone's foot touches them. I personally don't really care what the fuck you do. You're not hurting anyone, and it's just art. Like, you know how many people fucking, dude, you know how many people beat it to the fucking Mona Lisa? A lot.
You can trust me around your dog. I just wouldn't believe you. And that's what I have to say on that. Now, okay, it is one thing to have a lolly in the show, whatever. It's a drawing of the Lolita body type. But once they start to get sexualized, and I mean panty shots, getting into physical relationships with characters that actually look like adults, I'm peacing out. No, I don't care if she's a 3,000-year-old witch. She looks like my baby sister. Good day. There is no level of convincing that will...
What if they're a normal human that's like 20? There was a fucking anime where there was this woman that was fucking 5 foot exact, and she was like fucking 30. And people shat on it because of the Lolita thing, dude. Just, maybe you forgot, but Japanese people are also fucking short as hell.
ever changed my mind. But there are anime that have women that are just small, the most popular being Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. Like, yeah, I got 2 reasons why she's just a short lady. Because petite women are real, they exist and deserve love. But if it looks like a child and acts like a child, which is a big one, it's especially weird if they say, hey, this is actually an adult woman, but the show infantilizes her. Come on, man. Get that out of my face. Now, I'm not trying to say that
Chinibio is a thing. Autism is a thing. And autism is a wide fucking range. I'm on the scale.
I'm better because my goons are more ethical, but if you're gooning to it, then I kinda am. I get it if you think these characters are cute in a mascot sense, but still, I said what I said and I'm sticking to it. All in all, even though I have these complaints about isekais, that doesn't really stop me from being a fan of the genre and continuing to watch them even if some of these tropes are present. I enjoyed No Game Live, Konosuba, the time I got reincarnated as a slime, Grimgar, Shield Hero for a time, and I think as someone who enjoys the escapist fantasy so much, I have a pretty keen eye, and while I said some pretty harsh things, watch what you want, dude. It's your life. And believe it or not, I actually enjoy watching bad anime. It's fun to pick apart poorly constructed media or to watch and see just how bad it is. It's my guilty pleasure. And now you're in on the kink. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you made it this far, drop some of your favorite isekai in the comments. I need more stuff to watch. Peace.
You know, I definitely shit on him way too fucking hard. I didn't realize he was chill like that. I shat on him way too hard, man. I think if this video blows up, I might have to make an apology video. Actually, I'm gonna just apologize right here, right now. Yo, buddy. I can suck your dick if I make it feel better. Like, unironically, yeah, it's pretty good. I still don't like how Infinite Dendrogram is classified as a fucking isekai. How is a slice of life action it's a slice of life fantasy action anime. How is that isekai? Because I thought isekai you had to be brought there to another world. He's just in a... You had to be brought to another world with no hope of escape. And if we're going... Well, technically, by that definition, Sword Art Online is also not an isekai, and I'm okay with that. Infinite Dendrogram, not an isekai. Isekai is you're brought to another world because you died or something, or you're brought there and there's no way to go back, not even through death. But like, with Sword Art Online, their consciousness is just trapped inside of a video game, and if they die there, they die in real life. And all this thing. All those are the ones are not isekai.